Hello, this is wmpyr here to talk about a recent video that I made, which is the double knife in the reverse grip. And here it is. So let me play it for you guys just a little bit so you guys can see what's up. So this is what's going on. This should give you an idea. All right, so first thing is this is extremely dangerous, so please do not copy, all right? So now let me go into some detail of why this is so dangerous. Number one is I'm using real knives. They're sharp, they can cut, and if I was just using one knife, it would be easier for me to control, but because I'm using two, it definitely makes it harder. Now I made a double machete video that was similar to this, and that I'm using real machetes. And then the second video was double knife, but it was in the standard grip, and those were real knives as well. And this is the third one where I'm using double knife in reverse grip. Now I could also do sticks, double sticks. I could also do empty hand like on a punching bag and do it in a similar format, where my goal was to go a minimum of 3 minutes, so one round in boxing, pretty much non-stop. In this one, I ended up doing over 5 minutes by accident. I didn't mean to, but because it was 5 minutes, which is the longest out of the three, it was definitely, that made it harder. And the fact that it's reverse grip, technically, out of the three videos, it was the hardest for sure. And for those of you guys that want to practice this kind of skill, I can tell you that the secret to this is pretty simple. In this video I am slashing and I am stabbing. So let me show you guys that real quick. So these are slashes and stabs all mixed in, and the key to having a really good reverse grip to where you can flow and not be awkward with it is to not just stab and slash, but also to use an in-between a stab and a slash. And once you understand that, and once you have that skill set, then I feel like you go to the next level. You really open doors, and now you could be much smoother with your reverse grip technique with the knife. But anyway, back to this. This is, to put it simply, a test. I'm testing myself. It's not some official test or anything like that. It's just something that I wanted to do for me. And I also wanted to put it up on YouTube for you guys so that you guys can actually see what it would look like. And you know, I don't talk in this video or anything. It's just me doing this for 5 minutes straight, basically. And yeah, I thought that would be good, just so you could it's just one of those shut up and just do it kind of videos. You know, no talking, no explanation, no nothing, just me doing it, period. And like I said, I'm using real knives, and you know, it is a test of stamina. And also, what you guys don't see is I'm using two throwing knives, and the fact that I'm using throwing knives made it way harder. And I knew it was gonna, but you know, this is a test, and I wanted to challenge myself. I know it's going to be much harder to do this with throwing knives, because throwing knives are designed to come out of your hand so that you could throw them. So it's not like they provide an excellent grip. Actually, the ones that I'm holding is almost, the real estate, the handle area is a little bit short, to where it's kind of hard to get a full 4-finger grip. It could easily end up to where you don't get a full 4-finger grip there. And then on top of that, these knives had cord wrapped around on the handle. Other than that, you know, it was pretty minimalistic, but the cord over time came off just from me working out with them pretty much on a weekly, daily basis kind of thing when I work out. Sometimes I throw them, which was inspired by or encouraged by Sensei Rick. He's all into that, so and I've always believed that that was part of the Eskrima curriculum, is to be able to throw your weapon. That was taught to me a long time ago, and then see how much Sensei Rick is into that. It definitely inspired me to do some more. So I'm not really good at it or anything, but I do it once in a while. I do think it is a good skill to have in your arsenal just in case. And so anyway, because of the wear and tear, what I'm using here is no cord. So it's completely skeletonized knives that I'm using, 2 of them. And I'm using enough force to slash and cut to where, this is what I would be doing in a real life situation. So, once again, I am testing myself to try to be more realistic. And I feel like this kind of test, this kind of challenge is really, really good for you to experience when you're ready. Definitely don't do it when you're not ready, but when you have put in the practice, not like I feel like I'm ready and you're just confident for some reason. No, the confidence needs to come from practice. So I've done enough practice that I felt confident that I could do this, because if I just have confidence and nothing to really back that up, that's just arrogance. So, from my daily training, I was like, I'm ready to do this. And the challenge, like I said, there were some things that made it extremely challenging. Using a throwing knife that was skeletonized. Honestly, I was not ready at that level of challenge. So this was too much for me. And the reason why I can tell you this is because you won't see it in this video, but if you go to my Twitter account, you can see that the pinky on the right side of my hand, the skin tore. Okay, I didn't cut it, but it tore just from the force that you're putting in onto this hard tire. And like I said, I'm using real cutting, stabbing force. And honestly, the entire time in this video, I am struggling with my grip. I am constantly battling. Like, you're seeing me do this right here. Those were some repeated stabs. Here's some slashes. Here's some mix of all that. I'm using Heaven 6 motion as the base, and I'm moving around using footwork and stuff, but at the same time, the entire time, I am juggling the grip. I'm constantly having trouble because what happens is the grip, because it was such a not a good choice for this, that if the knife goes forward on my hand, it'll fly out. I'll drop it. And I definitely don't want to drop my knife in a real life situation, obviously. And then if I go too far backwards, then the knife will retreat in the hand and cut up my fingers. I definitely don't want to cut up my fingers either. So I'm constantly adjusting the grip and trying to figure out a good solid grip. But when you're slashing and stabbing, the force applied, the knife's like moving around in my hand and I'm having all this trouble. And then that is distracting my brain and that's affecting my footwork. So even though normally my footwork would be fine, here it was a disaster. And then me managing my stamina was another thing, because I don't want to just burn out and wear myself out in the first 10 seconds or something and have nothing left. So I'm trying to manage that, but I'm so distracted with the grip that, man, I was struggling. And if I stab too hard, or at the wrong angle, I'll disarm myself, I'll lose the knife, or I'll cut up my hand. And then on top of that, I have 2 knives and I'm doing the Heaven 6 motion. My arms are crossing, they're coming dangerously close at times, and I am constantly struggling. Now the good thing was that the only like I said, my pinky finger, the skin ripped there, but that was it. So my left hand was completely fine. So actually the left hand grip, I guess maybe I was, because I'm right-handed, I was more worried about the left, so I made sure the left had a really excellent grip, and then the right hand was constantly struggling, trying to adjust it and make sure it was solid. So yeah, it it wasn't super bad to where I cut up my arms or the knife flew out or hit me in the face, and nothing like that happens. You could see it in the video, but the fact that, you know, I did rip some skin on the pinky, that tells me that my grip isn't perfect, that I still have a lot to work on, you know. And it all came down to my grip, really. Yes, I could work on other areas, but really it really distracted my brain. And yeah, I was like, oh man, it just let me know that, you know, I have a lot to work on and that I'm not all that. So it really humbles you, but it's also exciting. It's super exciting because I can't wait to get back. I can't wait to heal up and go back at it again, because now I know what I need to fix. And anytime you find out, like, you know, you don't want to just look at your strengths and your positives. As martial artists, we want to be looking at our weakness and work on that. I don't need a pat on my back, you know, that comes from discipline. I know that I need to just keep working, so I don't need for people to, you know, tell me, oh, that's really great, how awesome you are. We're not looking for that as martial artists. We shouldn't be. We want to be looking for areas to improve. So when you find mistakes, when you find things that you messed up on, that's exciting, because if I fix that, I'm going to get better. So that's super, super awesome, you know. And so I can't wait to get back and work on my grip some more and make sure I get it solid. And you might be going, well, why did you use such a crappy knife? And that is a really good question, and that is the point. Yeah, definitely for this video, I shouldn't have done it. I should have used better knives. In the previous video for the standard grip, I used better knives. But for this one, I just wanted to challenge myself. It's good to go into area of unknown and work, and yeah, it was a big challenge. Honestly, it was too much, because injury is the enemy, and I did get a little bit injured. But at the same time, you know, I want to be able to work with any knife. I want any knife in my hands to be lethal. So in order for that to happen, I got to work with not the best knife available, but the crappiest knife. So if I can make the crappiest knife work in my hands, then the best knife is going to be like I'm driving a Ferrari, you know. So that's why I am working with these knives that were not the smartest choice. And it really, when I work with skeletonized knives, which I do like doing actually, when I do that, it really digs back into your hand, and it really lets you know where you're lacking in your grip. So this was a good experience for me, and I know I could do better. And like I said, I can't wait to get back into training again. So anyway, I hope that kind of shed some light of what was going on in this video. And thank you for viewing, guys, and take care, folks.